Hey guys, Dislater Magic here, and it's time to make, another popular video. That's right, I just haven't quite hit my quota of pissing people off this week. I just seem to attract the most immature, just stupid, I don't even know what to call them, just the worst people on the planet to my comment section. And they're so stupid, they don't even realize it when I block them. They keep leaving comments, even though I put hide all these users' comments on my comment section. Anywhere on my channel that applies to. If you're gonna sit there and insult me, insult other people, just contradict all the information in the video and post completely inaccurate garbage, if you're just generally gonna be a miserable, angry piece of crap that doesn't even deserve to be on the internet, I'm going to block you. My block list is over 2,000 people right now, and I don't think there's a limit to it. So if you're going to be a complete dick, don't even bother. That said, do you guys think that Wizards of the Coast cares about cheaters? Now you guys are probably thinking this is like a clickbait headline, anything that ends in a question mark you can answer it no or whatever the stupid cliche is. And then this whole video is like some big long opinion piece about, my take on whatever I asked in the headline. Nope, I am literally asking you guys, does Wizards of the Coast care about cheaters? I've never been to any kind of large tournament, which that's not exactly true, but basically I haven't been to a Grand Prix or a Pro Tour. And that's the place where they should care about cheating the most. I don't think Wizards is gonna send a secret spy to your local gaming store with 20 people and then start patting people down and checking for hidden cameras and stuff. That's more of a roulette casino cheat. I have no idea what a camera would do for you in a game of Magic, honestly. That would actually be awesome if they did that. I volunteer. I will show up to your Friday Night Magic. Honestly, still pretty much none of you know what I look like, apparently. Oh, for God's sake, I'm way too lazy to get on my camera. Here I am. I'm the one in the jeans. So if you see somebody who looks like that at your next F&M, I'm on to you. Now, there's really two huge sides of this argument. One side says Wizards doesn't care about cheaters at all. I mean, a little bit because they don't want to be seen as massively crooked like they were in the past. I mean, look what happened to professional cycling. Everybody just doesn't give a crap about it. Nobody's interested. Nobody wants to compete in it. Nobody wants to watch it because it just lost all respect, because just assume everybody's cheating. I think they said a couple years back, if you look at the top ranking, first place, second place, third place, you'd have to go down to 22nd place to find somebody who hasn't been caught cheating in the future after that. So the gold medal should go to the 23rd place person or whatever. Now, from what I've heard, because you guys know I've only been playing Magic for 3 years, 3.5, something like that. From what I heard, everybody used to cheat because it just wasn't that big. I mean, they weren't live streaming it. They didn't turn it into an ESPN style event. So if people cheated at it, whatever, it's just a little card game for fun and it's a small tournament. The prizes aren't that big and people are just obsessed with winning and whatever. So obviously kudos to Wizards for cleaning that up. But the counter argument is they really just actually swept it all under the rug. I mean, they took basic steps to keep people from cheating because why wouldn't you? But other than that, they don't want to be seen as constantly catching people cheating because that implies that a ton of people are cheating, even if they are. A lot of people will say, oh, this tournament they caught somebody cheating, that tournament they caught somebody cheating. They won't see a positive spin to that. They will not say, oh, wow, Wizards is really cracking down. They'll say, oh, wow, all the pros are cheating. I mean, I would certainly spread the word, hey, good for them for catching these people and cracking down on them and really, really, showing that they're not going to tolerate this. And they could probably spin it that way. But still, some people are saying that Wizards does the bare minimum necessary to look like they're going to catch cheaters and to deter them from cheating at large tournaments, but then everything else, they don't go after it. If somebody's cheating and they're suspected of cheating, they don't do anything about it because they don't want to catch them. As long as everybody's under the illusion that nobody's cheating and that the tournaments are legit, more people will want to watch them because they'll think they're watching something real and fair. And one thing that really drives this theory, this is what people always quote, Wizards loves celebrities. They love recurring, people winning over and over and over because then it's a recognizable name. That person goes out there to the community and they sort of promote the game, even though I kind of think they don't. But, everybody's got their favorite pro wrestler in WWE. And if every 2 or 3 months it was 100% new wrestlers, it would be pretty hard to follow. So you got that kind of fanboy celebrity thing going, and it's just like esports. People want certain teams or certain people to win. So why would Wizards get in the way of that by catching a ton of these people cheating if they are. So it's kind of like soft evidence, but people are saying, well, because of this, that, and the other thing, Wizards is just sweeping it under the rug. They're not catching these people. They're not doing enough. In certain cases, maybe they're even covering it up if they knew they were cheating. I mean, the guy thumb shuffling cards to the top of the deck, he was caught by somebody on Reddit watching the footage after the fact, and they had to, I guess, like take away his prize money and then ban him after the fact or something like that. It shouldn't have taken somebody on Reddit to catch that, although it was so subtle, you had to like watch the video in slow motion to see what he was doing, and only one person caught him. So, I mean, you can't say some judge across the room is going to catch that. On the flip side, shuffling with the cards basically facing you, whether it's your opponent's deck or yours, was legal. The mass shuffling was legal. What the hell? Like, you could literally pick up your opponent's deck, not knowing what they're going to play, slightly tilt it towards yourself, start mash shuffling, which is where you just pile, cram it, pile, cram it, pile, cram it. I hate that technique, obviously. And nobody would really care because it's like, oh, we're all playing net decks, and as soon as I play Inkmoth Nexus, you're going to know I'm playing Infect, so not a big deal. There was just nobody complaining about it, and well, actually, that's not true. A ton of pros were up in arms on Twitter after this happened, saying, I've been complaining to the judges about it for years and years and years, saying, why the hell are you letting these people tip up my deck and look at the cards in it while they pretend to shuffle it? Now, obviously, the guy who got caught was, thumbing cards to the top. He was manipulating it, but nobody should be able to see the cards in your deck until you let them, until the game actually starts. That is a rule. It's just that nobody was enforcing it, and practically everybody was doing it because it was a known cheat. So from what I've heard from people who went to, big, large tournaments after that, if you start mash shuffling your opponent's deck, they are like on you. The judges are watching you. Everybody's watching you to make sure you don't tilt it a couple degrees higher and see one of their cards. If you so much as see one of their cards and they can prove it and somebody saw you, that can and should result in a game loss because it's such a huge advantage knowing what deck they're playing before you make your first mulligan decision. And from what I heard from multiple people, everybody was doing that. Everybody was sliding a slight peek. I mean, if the guy blinks or looks away for a second, they just tilt it up, tilt it back down. Oh, look what color they're playing. Okay, oh, look at that one card. Look at that one land. That just helped me out immensely. And that was tolerated. I mean, obviously, the judges were getting mountains of complaints about this, and they didn't do anything. Wizards didn't do anything. The judges didn't do anything. Nobody did anything. That's insane. That is the strongest evidence I can come up with that Wizards is just completely ignoring cheating. So that's their case. Let's look at the flip side. Wizards wants to be taken seriously, and they're trying to, start calling it an esport. I think they're actually calling, paper magic an esport. I'm not sure they know what the letter E stands for. I think they think it's everyman. This is an everyman sport, not electronic. In case you don't know what esports is, it's electronic sports. So since there's these giant tournaments of people playing electronic paper magic, I can barely say that with a straight face, they want tons of people to tune in, just like League of Legends or whatever. They want to stream it like it's a big thing. And I mean, I watch the freaking World Series of Darts on ESPN if it's on. They have freaking arm wrestling on there. And I think I actually saw the rock, paper, scissors tournament on ESPN 2 or 3 or 17 or something. They will air anything. Actually, fun fact, I had heard, and I think I actually did confirm this, that one of the Magic the Gathering tournaments years ago actually was streamed live on ESPN. Or maybe it wasn't live, but it was covered. It was shown. They were there shooting it. I think they only did it for 1 year, maybe 2 though, and then nobody tuned in, so they just said screw it. But now fast forward a bunch of years, and it's not that silly to watch some big giant, video game related geeky whatever tournament that's not held by, the NFL or whatever. You just sit down on your computer and watch it because, people are live streaming dumber stuff than that. And oh my God, have you guys seen the 24/7 Kittens channel? It's just all kittens all day. I think it's called Kitten Academy. Oh my God. I am going to lose my mind if they teach those kittens to play Magic. So Wizards wants to promote that, because it serves one hell of a purpose. I mean, they're relying mostly on us going to our friends that don't play Magic and teaching them to play Magic. I mean, that's the number one thing. You don't see commercials on TV about Magic the Gathering because it's just not the type of game you can just jump right into. You kind of need to know somebody. The rules are really complex and you need somebody to sit down and play with you. You, at the bare minimum, need that. I've never heard of somebody just reading the rules, learning it, and then jumping in. Although, that is why they develop Magic Duels. It's very hand-holdy, and it's like the AI is teaching you to play Magic, and then they hope that you'll move on to paper Magic. It's absolutely brilliant, except that the software was malfunctional crap. But overall, the design of the software was quite good, and I heard it kind of was a pretty good success. I mean, I know quite a few people that said that they started playing it just because it was very heavily advertised in like the App Store and stuff. So that was an absolutely brilliant strategy. There's a new product called Magic Digital Next coming out. Nobody knows what it is, but if it's anything other than a Pokemon hybrid code system like they use now for Pokemon, we've got a problem. Because then it's probably going to fail miserably. I don't care what it is. It better be that, so that people can play in their underwear at 2 a.m. and still have a really damn good reason to, like, be forced to buy the paper products. I mean, I'm not saying you couldn't just purely buy them digitally. It's just, you get the 2 for 1, and that's the #1 feature for Pokemon right now. So all of this culminates to Hasbro wanting to make Magic big. They want to spread it. They want people to watch it. They want to live stream it. They want people to get excited about it. Because that means it'll attract more players, and that's more money. Because, they spend all that money designing the cards and doing this and paying the staff and holding the events, and then X amount of people buy it. So if more people buy the new set, that's more money for the same amount spent. Whenever a business can pick up more people without having to spend more money, that's insane. That's like the golden opportunity. Like, you better jump all over that, and that's what they're doing. So that is their obvious, witnessed and themselves stated strategy. Why would they want to be seen as like having a giant cheating conspiracy? Because these people are going to get caught eventually. If Fabrizio was playing against me, I would have caught him. Simple as that. I would have called over a judge and I would have caught him. I mean, I would have seen what he was doing. So if you're cheating and cheating and cheating, I don't care how subtle it is, somebody's going to catch you eventually. So what reason would Wizards have to be seen as like covering this up? Like, if it was ever found out that a Wizards judge or a staff member knew that somebody was cheating and then didn't disqualify them or catch them, that would be the scandal to end the company. I mean, it wouldn't probably really end the company, but nobody would give a crap about the GPs of the Pro Tours anymore. That's for sure. I mean, I'd still play locally. I'm not going to protest quit. I'm not formerly MTG Degree where I'm going to change my channel name because Wizards pissed me off. But I'm certainly going to continue not giving a crap about the GPs of the Pro Tours. Like, I'll just utterly ignore them. They might as well put up a banner that says, "Welcome to the Tour de France MTG tournament," because that's what it would be. So with that much to lose, and assuming that only, 5 or 10% maybe of pros are cheating, or consistently cheating, I mean, who knows? Cheating once or twice, probably all the time. But with the small percentage of systematic cheaters that are probably out there, I think that Wizards is actively trying to catch them. That's the side that I'm leaning towards. The logic that they're covering something up and that they don't want to catch cheaters for PR reasons, it's pretty strong, but as far as actual reality, actual results, and actual things that have happened, I do think that they're going after cheaters, but not like we need to rid them like they're the plague. Like, they're putting in some real sincere effort, but they're not going nuts with it. Like, probably not to the point where they would spend an actual penny on it. They're changing rules, they're changing methods, they're changing, how judging works, and they're changing certain little subtle things to make sure that it's locked down. But they're not actually going to hire more judges or hire sentinels with binoculars with little tree stands watching all different games and stuff. I mean, honestly, how expensive would that possibly be? They really ought to do it. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Just go to the local casino, find people that are trained in anti-cheat from the pit, and just hire them for 2 days. In fact, just find a card magician like me and just frickin' hire me. I'll catch everybody doing card manipulation, I guarantee it. Somebody does a slap cheat on the top of their deck, I will catch that so quick, oh my god. Yes, I will make a video covering slap cheating. You all probably have no idea what I'm talking about. Okay, this totally didn't come up in the Q&A, but I gotta throw it in. I briefly was in a show at a huge theater, a really, really high-profile Magic show. In fact, the guy I was working with had a show in Vegas. So if you thought I looked familiar, that's where. Well, that among other things. You guys haven't figured out a whole bunch of stuff about me. I was actually an Olympic figure skater. Just kidding. I totally don't have the thighs for it. Little hint, though, I've set some world records in gaming. Anyway, so, I mean, you find somebody with sharp eyes who knows what they're doing and knows the cheating methods and just have them walk around. Just walk around. I mean, hell, the judges are volunteers anyway. Just hire more people. Not even rules judges, just sentinels, as I put it. And now here's the funny thing. That might sound really, really far out. Like it's an insane idea. Like what they don't want it to look like some kind of Nazi camp or something with like people marching around just ready to pounce on anybody doing anything wrong. I mean, you really don't want the tournaments to feel like prison, but I mean, they could do it really subtle. But if you think, oh, that's just nuts, they had like a campaign against Fabrizio. Okay, it's Fabrizio. I believe it's an S, not a Z. I speak Spanish, Italian's close enough. I don't know. Technically, I think he's Italian and Venezuelan, so I'm probably spot on. So they had their eyes on Fabrizio ever since he walked into that tournament. The way I understood it from what I heard on Reddit, which, that's my source for accurate information for sure. But people who claim they were at the tournament said, or claimed that they knew something about this situation specifically and were at the tournament, said that the judge was just on him immediately. Like there was a judge kind of like, I guess, hovering in the distance. And he was watching him on purpose because a whole bunch of players had been complaining for the last couple tournaments, or at least a couple months ahead of time, saying that they thought he was cheating. They thought something has to be up. This guy just doesn't mulligan. He never mulligans. He never pulls a bad hand, and that's suspicious. And then his, first place finishes and his top 8 finishes, they're unnaturally high. Like nobody's that good. I mean, you can be as talented as you want and you're gonna get mulligan screwed at some point. It just never seemed to happen to him. So people were talking to the judges, some of the other high level pros that are sick of losing to this guy. They're telling the judges, well, why don't you just watch? Because I think I figured out what he's doing. Like they might have been spying on his games at a previous tournament and said, well, that's odd. He didn't shuffle, or that's odd. He's kind of mana weaving and then kind of light shuffling or whatever. So they honestly had the head judge, not just a judge, the head judge, watch his game, like secretly. Because I don't think he'd cheat if he knew that somebody was watching. So when the head judge waits for buy number 1, buy number 2, which the pros absolutely should not have in the first place, by the way, but I think we're all on the same page there. Round 3, which is his round 1, because he got automatic 2 buys. Round 3, like game 1, shuffle a couple times or fail to shuffle or whatever the hell he did. Probably actually it wasn't game 1. It would have been game 2, whatever. Awfully hard to mana weave before a game has occurred, but I think before even the end of the round or right shortly after it, they're like, boom, drop the hammer on this piece of crap. He's cheating. And Wizard said some stuff that kind of implied that they knew he was systematically cheating in the past. They did not buy his excuse that he accidentally did it and mental fatigue in literally the first round that he played or whatever other nonsense he threw up about it. So the fact that Wizards would almost have what you could call a sting operation. Like they didn't set it up. They didn't do anything. They just watched him. He's the one who was cheating. They didn't entrap him with some kind of I don't know, whatever. They didn't entice him into cheating, but they set the trap for him. Like they were on him. They were watching him, head judge, not even playing. So that proves that at least in that case, they decided to do something about it. The judges got together. They talked to some Wizard staff, I assume, and then they said, let's watch this guy. And the fact that they're willing to do that says that they're willing to catch cheaters. Either that or they just really didn't like that one guy. Maybe there's favoritism. Maybe there's certain pros that Wizards is allowing to cheat. That's what the other side says. I kind of find that a little out there and conspiracy-ish. Ha ha, conspiracy. But I don't know. I mean, I'm still a little bit on the fence here. Let's just say if nobody gets caught at the next GP or whatever, I wouldn't be that surprised. But if 16 people suddenly get caught cheating at the next GP, I also wouldn't be surprised. And if it turns out Wizards knew about it, I wouldn't be that surprised. And if it turns out they didn't know about it because they aren't actively doing enough about cheating, I also wouldn't be surprised. So I could really see either side of this. So I'm really curious to hear what you guys think about this. Is there a massive conspiracy where Wizards is just kind of playing the PR game and they don't want to catch too many people cheating, but once in a while they're just going to come down on somebody hard and punish them and just be like, no, this is the only cheater we've caught in years, which is totally not true, and we're just going to ban him for, it was like a year, and we had the head judge on him, and we just about called in the FBI, the CIA, the NSA, we're raiding his house, we're not going to tolerate this stuff. They didn't do any of that, but, it kind of felt like it. So was that all just grandstanding to look good, and then the rest of the cheaters are just like, oh, we don't want to make waves? Or are they going after them? Are they listening to the legit pros and catching the small percent that cheat perpetually? Now, the one thing I couldn't find is, besides the pros, besides the people that are, finishing really, really high, how many people are like disqualified or get a warning or get ejected from the tournament for cheating that are low level players? They're like 0 and 6 and they're still cheating. You know, people like that. I don't think they release those numbers. I mean, unless it's nobody, and that's why they're not releasing it, because there's nothing to release. So if anybody knows that, oh my gosh, leave that in the comment section, because if they catch like 100 people cheating per tournament, oh my god. And then the fact that they're not releasing those numbers, yeah. I mean, I might just try to data mine the Wizard universal ban list, because it's literally every person on planet Earth that's banned, allegedly. And it's by name, by date, by reason, and by DCI number. So I might look into that for sure, because I guarantee if you get ejected from a tournament for getting caught, you know, with a 55 card deck or something, or, you know, your sideboard expanded to 20 after you checked your deck in, or you're being a slap cheater. God, I hate those people. I want to slap cheaters. They should show up in the system, because, you know, you're not allowed to play even local Magic at your local gaming store after that. They will ban your DCI number. So I'm going to take a look at that. I suggest you guys do the same. It's a funny list because it doesn't have reasons, but you can kind of make up your own reasons. We had fun doing that one time. So I'll leave you to it, and make sure you leave your take on this down in the comment section, and I will see you guys next video.